Woodland Mansion, one of the rarest structures in survival. It is built in the interior of dark, dense forests, and it's huge, 3 levels tall, with twisted hallways and almost as detailed as any other furniture in the game. Vindicators and evokers reside within, and are both aggressive illager types. A totem can only be obtained by killing an evoker. Ancient City. It is located in deep underground, far below most players usually dig. It spawns inside the deep dark biome, with dark skulk blocks constantly spreading and pulsing about like an infection. It seems like the remains of an ancient civilization, a stone path, hanging chains, the idea that something went wrong here a long time ago. For the risk, the Ancient City has some of the most valuable loots in the game, such as enchanted golden armor, swift sneak enchantment, and even a piece of the rarest music disc in Minecraft. Trial Chambers. It is one of the newer buildings in the game and is based on combat as opposed to sneaking in to loot. It features some very special spawners which continue to provide players with spawns as long as they remain in close proximity to them. The architecture is built around copper and has a different look than any other underground structure. It also features the Breeze, a mob that can throw wind charges and knock players around. Stronghold. It's a massive subterranean fortress constructed of stone brick, containing libraries, prison-like cells, and long, winding corridors. Inside can be found the End Portal Room, which is the only way to access the End and ultimately battle the Ender Dragon. They are a favorite place for silverfish to hide, and they emerge when a block is broken. Stronghold can be a nuisance to navigate, with parts of it being cut off or buried, and the layout being random. Ocean Monument. It is located far beneath the water and is composed of almost pure prismarine, which causes it to have a cold blue-green light in the water. The main rooms are protected by guardians. The stronger elder guardians are guarding near the center, and they can cause the mining fatigue effect, which makes it almost impossible to escape without preparation. Sponge rooms are located throughout, and by breaking through these rooms, the water will drain away from the rest of the monument, allowing for easy exploration. One down is often a solid gear, as the underwater environment is perilous enough without the mobs. Igloo. Initially, this appears to be one of the least threatening constructs in the game, a small snow dome quietly perched in a frozen biome. In about half the cases, it's just that. The other half has a secret basement with an access point through a secret trapdoor located under a carpet. In that basement is a zombie villager and stuff to heal it. Desert Pyramid. It emerges from the sand and is quite distinct in its orange and blue sandstone pattern. Beneath all the decoration, there's a basic trap, a pressure plate with a hidden room that has a load of TNT in it, waiting to explode if anyone steps on the wrong foot. It's one of the oldest traps in Minecraft. Jungle Temple. It is covered in dense jungle biome structures, sometimes half covered in vines, and constructed from mossy cobblestone to give the ancient, overgrown appearance. Inside there is a redstone and lever puzzle that must be solved correctly to open a secret door, and a tripwire trap that fires arrows at anyone who sets it. Pillager Outpost. These outposts are typically tall, with wooden watchtowers marking their locations, and can often be seen from afar due to their height. It's a place where pillagers spawn continuously. Sometimes an allay will be found in a nearby cage, and they are small but useful mobs when they are released. These outposts also link to the raid mechanic, as if they are approached with the bad omen effect. A full raid of the village will be triggered later. Abandoned Village. Once this was a normal village, but something has gone wrong. Instead of the usual villagers, you get zombie villagers walking the streets. Village. This is the complete opposite of its abandoned version, and these days it's anything but quiet. Villagers go round and work, exchange commodities, and do routine according to their professions. Iron golems guard the area. The town appearance varies based on the biome. Plains, deserts, snowy and snowy mountain, savannas, and taigas all have different appearances. Swamp Hut. It is nestled up on tree stilts over filthy swamp water. It has a witch inside. Sometimes a black cat spawns nearby too. The loot inside is not very interesting. Shipwreck. They are found on beaches and at sea. There can be up to 3 chests in a shipwreck, and chests can provide early game items. Buried treasure. It's found by following a map. Those maps typically originate from shipwrecks or ocean ruins, and once worked out, it directly guides to only one chest buried under the sand. Ocean ruin. These are less expensive and are smaller than many underwater construction, and there's warm and cold versions according to the particular biome. Some are spilled out at the surface near the beaches, and others lie completely underwater. Mineshaft. This is one of the oldest types of structure, basically a derelict mining tunnel buried in the ground. There is also a less common mesa variant made of a different composition of stone, as per the surrounding terrain. Ruined portal. You will find them in both the Overworld and the Nether.